Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to the Chicago Cubs. I did come back. There was a very real chance this series didn't continue, but here we are. We're going to have our end-of-season awards momentarily, and look back on what ultimately wasn't a terrible season, but, I mean, how can you be 3-0 up and lose a series? So it's the Braves and the Angels in the World Series. So when we come back from our awards, we will find out, among other things, if the Braves have won it. Honestly, I'm going to be absolutely spitting chips. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Chicago Cubs end of season show! What? It wasn't show. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And whoever's doing the announcements, that was unnecessary. It's an unnecessary dig. The guys did their best. They really, really did. And, so we lost 4 games in a row. It can happen to anybody. And this season happened to us. And it's only ever happened once in history other times. So, it was due. It was due to happen again. But let's give out some awards. The first award this evening is for the pitcher with the most wins. And on this season, it was 16 wins, and it was really an unsung hero of the rotation. Congratulations to Christian Scott. The next award is for the highest batting average, and I always like to have somebody over 300. We didn't manage that this season, so you should all hang your head a little bit in shame. But 291 wasn't bad. It was the highest batting average, and it belonged to Pete Crow-Armstrong. The next award is the Golden Bullseye. I'm not sure how much longer this trophy's going to be with us. It's looking a little second-hand here, but it goes to the player that has been hit most by pitches this season. And with 17 times struck, that winner is William McQuaid. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to the player who drags us down by hitting into the most double plays. And I don't know if we've ever seen this before, but it is the Golden Bullseye Golden Ankle Double. I'm not sure what it means, but 21 double plays hit into. Well done, William McQuaid. The next award is the Golden Boot, awarded to the pitcher who has issued the most walks, and 57 walks over the course of a season. I mean, it's almost a poor effort, to be honest, to win a trophy for it. But anyway, congratulations. It goes to Christian Scott. The next award is the Golden Glasses, awarded to the player who has struck out the most, and maybe just needs a little bit of help seeing that ball coming at them. And a surprise winner this year, I've got to say, 154 strikeouts. Big congratulations, Arjun Nimmala. The next award is the Golden K, awarded to the pitcher with the most strikeouts, and 124. Really? Come on, we can do better than that, can't we, pitching staff? But that was the most strikeouts this season, and I think the clean sweep is still on. Congratulations, Christian Scott! The next award is the Golden Broom, awarded to the man who sweeps clean the bases, the man with the most RBIs. And this guy, I mean, he did his best, didn't he, to take us to the World Series. 120 RBIs. It's the $50-something million man, Vlad Jr. Next award is for the pitcher with the best ERA, and this guy, we moved him into the closing role about halfway through the year. Never looked back, absolutely made for the roles, it turns out. ERA of 186. Congratulations, Gregory Montano. Next up, it is the award for the most home runs, and again, most RBIs, most home runs. That probably goes hand in hand, doesn't it? 33 home runs in the regular season, 8 more in the postseason. Congratulations, Vlad Jr. The next award is the horse's ass for this season's worst player, and I mean, how do you separate the team this season, really? There's only one thing that I could do, and it's a joint award. Anybody who pitched in Game 6 of the NLCS, you're all horses' asses. And now it's time to award this season's best pitcher. Now, as ever, there is a formula we use to determine this, which, along with all of tonight's winners, is listed down in the description of the video. So in third place, with a score of 24.19, it is Sandy Alcantara. In second place with a score of 27.43, it is one of the horse's asses, Jean Pinto. But the winner with a score of 29.57, it is Gregory Montano. And now it is time to award this season's best hitter. And again, there is a formula we use to determine this, which is down in the description of the video. In third place with a score of 41.41 is William McQuaid. In second place with a score of 42.15, he's always there, it's Alex Bregman. And the winner with a mammoth score of 71.64, and that is not his annual salary demand, though it probably will be by the time he hits free agency. Congratulations, Vlad Jr. And now it is time for the big one. This season's MVP, the Golden Star, as voted by you, the fans. And I want to thank everybody who nominated and then took the time to vote. And it was almost unanimous. This season's MVP is Vlad Jr. Well done, well done. Congratulations to Vlad and the rest of the winners this evening. Unfortunately, this season wasn't to be our season, but we do have money to spend this winter, and I intend to spend it. I'm not happy. I'm a little embarrassed, and I'm going to try and rectify the situation for you fans. So thank you everybody for watching this evening, and I will see you next season at Wrigley Field with what will hopefully be a new look Cubs. Thank you everybody and good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course they did. Of course they did. Unbelievable. You just couldn't make it up, could you? So we were that close to being World Series champions. And, well, we move on again now, don't we? We go to the 2030 season, full focus on that and seeing what we can do. Now, we've got a new budget. We'll have a look at that in a little more simplified, just number terms in a second. Review of season goals. Now, we wanted a legendary manager. I can certainly think that Rocco did a decent job when he came in, to be honest, apart from... yeah, game 4 onwards in the in the NLCS. I thought he did a pretty good job. And yeah, well, let's see what we can do. Now, what we're going to look forward here is to next season. So reach the playoffs. We should hopefully be able to do that. Improve your team defensive efficiency. Not sure what that means. Look it up. Sign Ballesteros to an extension. We want to do that anyway. Top 6 minor league system. I don't really know how to do that, but we'll keep trying. Increase fan interest. That's going to be down to 1 or 2 signings probably. Improve our international amateur fines and reach the World Series next year. So that's so 2031. We want to be reaching the World Series. I take it if the deal for next season is next season. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Anyway, we've got some staff members retiring, so the pitching coach is gone. Wasn't expecting that. That's annoying. We've had our contract extended, so that's good. Our bench coach is leaving. Now, I would have kept him, but the issue is that Rocco has he has to hire his own bench coach. So that is that's just kind of what it is. It's part of the deal of having him as the manager. We've got some personnel leaving, which is fine. We knew that. We didn't want to keep him. Do we have anybody in the prospects top 10? No. So off-season begins. Arbitration period. Let's go and have a look and see who's here. All right, Daniel Espino. I don't even know who that is. He was rubbish for us. He's down there, so we don't really want to pay him that. So we'll try and get rid of that. Murillo, yes, we want to keep him. DJ, we want to keep him. Killen, 5 million. I'm not sure about that. He's very replaceable, I think. Montano, yes, definitely want to keep him. McKinley Moore. I mean, I'll give him another chance, but he was poor, wasn't he? He was really poor when he came in. Roque, yes, he was quite solid. Levi can stay. Alien Do, I think, as a backup. 3.2 is a little bit of cash, isn't it? But I'm not desperate to get rid of him. Ballesteros, that's fine. We've got Edward Julian, 9.5. If Vlad isn't staying, which it doesn't look like he is, then Julian, in theory, becomes our first baseman. And so 9.5 million maybe isn't the worst. Kevin Maid, I don't think we want... Oh, do we? He's a good defensive gem, isn't he? We'll have to have a think about that. Petey Crow on 17 million is pricey. he is a very good defensive centre fielder, but that is a pricey. Although he did hit well last year as well, didn't he? So maybe that's fine. And Brennan Davis on just under 10 million again. I think that's just about doable. Bednar, I'm happy to let him go because he's 35. Vlad, ideally, we'd like to keep him. If we can get him for 24 million, I think we'd be very happy with that. But we'll see. And the other one that's a pending free agent is Hans Cruz, and we'll see what we can do to maybe keep him as well, but I'll have to have a think about that. So there we go. I'll be back when we have something to report, but yeah, that is we're going to look at the finances, won't we? So we have suddenly 81 million available and 88 million for extensions, so that's at the end of next season. So there's money available. Now most of that is just down to the fact that Vlad's currently not on the books at the end of this season. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Let's see if we can make it into a winning one. Alright, it is time for some Major League Baseball awards, and we will start with Golden Gloves, and we will start with Petey Crow, Mr. Golden Glove himself, doing it again and getting Gold Glove for centre fielders. I believe, is that his third or fourth in a row? It is his fourth in a row, so well done, Petey Crow. I mean, he's worth 17 million, isn't he? A four-time Gold Glove centre fielder, 4 seasons in a row. That's worth the money, isn't it? So next up, it is Reliever of the Year. Now in the American League, it went to Prince Nosetti. What a great name that is. Can we sign him? He was unanimous as the Astros as the Reliever of the Year. And it was Gary Crockett, of course, once of us. And we were just unable to afford to keep him. Montano was up there. But yeah, Crockett has gone and won Reliever of the Year. Next up, it is the Platinum Sticks, the Silver Sluggers. So we can see the American League there. Do we recognize any former Cubs there? I don't think so. So let's go and have a look at the National League. Did anybody get in there? And the answer to that is a resounding no. Not even Vlad amongst first basemen was able to get there. So yeah, there we go. Not any Silver Sluggers. So next up, it is Rookie of the Year. I forget who our rookies were this year. Did Nimmala qualify maybe? So in the American League, it went to Dave Baldwin of the LA Angels. And if we go and have a look at the National League, it went to Dave Retta of the Reds. And we did not have anybody in the top 5 there. I think Nimmala probably wouldn't qualify as a rookie because he was kind of in and out last season a bit, wasn't he? Next up is Manager of the Year. Could Rocco? No, it's going to go to the Braves guy, isn't it? So it was Houston's Grant Johnson that got it for the American League, and for us it was indeed the Atlanta Braves manager, so fair enough really. I mean, they did go and win the World Series, so difficult to argue against that. Cy Young is up next. So a Yankee has won it for the American League, Giancarlos Lara. Unanimous as well, it looks like there. So let's go and have a look now in our league. Did we get a winner? No, we did not. It was Perdomo of the Cardinals, and Sandy Alcantara was up there. Had a better year this year, did Sandy, but yeah, not good enough to win Cy Young, but I don't think we were expecting him to. MVP. So it was Leo Jimenez of the Blue Jays, just ahead of his teammate Charlie King, that won MVP in the American League. Do we recognize anybody there? Pete Alonso, one of my all-time favorites on the channel anyway. And it was Dela Cruz again, of course it was, that won MVP in our league. And yeah, there we go. It's Vlad we've got to mention, but that was about it. And a funeral, Jesus Christ, that's a bit morbid, isn't it? It was learned today that John Malone, owner of the Braves, passed away. Seriously, they have deaths in this game. That is ridiculous. So the Braves owner, may he rest in peace, saw his team win a World Series and was dead 2 weeks later. That is morbid. Why is that even in the game? Alright, so it is arbitration time. Let's have a look and see how we did. So Julian got his 9.5, which is less than what he asked for. Alien Do got a little bit more, but it's still within range, I think. That isn't it. Ballesteros got more, which is probably fair enough. He is quite good. Vlad has filed for free agency. So we'll see if we can maybe get him back for a little bit cheaper than he initially wanted. Roque has got roughly the same. He asked for roughly what we offered. Levi Kelly has got 500,000 more, but that's not too bad. Montano can pretty much write his own check because he was quite good for us. McKinley Moore was disappointing and got 400 grand a year more than what we wanted to give him. So well done to you. Petey Crow got 20 million. I mean, he is that. How much do you pay for a Gold Glove is the question, I suppose. That is approaching, given that we have De Leon and Patterson already at, in the major squad that are not too bad in terms of defense behind him. I wonder if that's something we could do there. DJ got 6, which is fine. Murillo got 3.3, which is fine. Kevin Maid got his 5.5. Again, how much do you pay for a good defensive glove? Brennan Davis got up to over 10 million. And Espino, sorry, we will continue to see what we do with him, not making any decision on him right away. So, in terms of finances, where does that leave us? So with free agency just around the corner, we have 57 million. So we could get Vlad if we wanted to. And I guess if he goes to free agency, we might even get him for a little bit less. I can't see him getting 50 million, will he? Anyway, let's see what happens in free agency. All right, so we can see the main free agents here. Dela Cruz is a free agent. Now, that would be a nice little addition to the squad, wouldn't it? Vlad, obviously, is a free agent as well. What does he want now? 46 million. So he's already lowered his thing by almost 10 million. So yeah, we couldn't do Vlad and Dela Cruz because he wants 51. So, I mean, he's a multiple-time MVP, so that's probably fair enough. And he's only 27 as well. So anyway, let's have a look and see what we can do here. If Vaughn as a first baseman as a replacement for Vlad might be interesting. Leave this with me. We do have a big hole in the squad. Otani's a free agent as well. What does he want? 58 million. I mean, you're 2 players in one, but my history with him is not a good one, is it? So maybe I don't want to do that. Although he did well for us at the Tigers, didn't he? All right, leave this with me, and we'll see what we can do. We have breaking news out of Chicago as Cubs GM Ozzie Villain has splashed the cash on starting pitcher Yuri Perez on a 7-year, $177 million deal. Now, Villain had this to say just moments ago. Well, this is a good signing. You know, Yuri is young, he's proven, and no doubt he'll blow his shoulder out in spring training. We've signed Hiroshi Tanabe as well, but I wouldn't get too excited about him. All right, so we have done our first major signing of the off-season, and it is Yuri Perez. He is a one-time All-Star. He was a free agent. Obviously, he was released, or went to free agency from Baltimore. If we go and have a look at his contract, as I said, he's only 26, so it's a 7-year deal, $25.5 million a year, more or less. And I don't think that is a terrible deal. So he'll be 33 at the end of it, which is not terrible. It's not like he's got an injury record that's suspect right now. So on the surface of things, this should work out okay for us, I would have thought. Now, his career to date, if we go and have a look at that, and he had a bit of a dodgy year last year, 2028, but this season just gone 17 wins, led the league. An career ERA of just a smidge over 4, but obviously getting pretty good. As outside of, as I said, 2028, he's been below 4 for most of his career. Obviously, when he's young and just coming in, maybe not quite as good. But even as a 21-year-old, ERA of 4.02, I think he could be quite decent. I don't think we've ever spent here at all. I'm excited to see what he can do. Now, we did sign another player off of free agency, Hiroshi Tanabe. Now, he was a Japanese free agent, so he's on a minor league deal with 1.5 million if he comes up. We'll have a look at him in spring training. He's solid enough. He's only 26. So we'll just kind of see what we get. But it might be something, it might be not. He'll probably, if anything, start off in the bullpen and we'll go from there with him. But whether he'll be a bullpen pitcher this year, that I would say is a little bit debatable. Couldn't we have done this with the last press conference? I'm a busy man. I've got things to do. It's just anyway. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll make this quick. We were all here yesterday. I'm sure we've all got places to be. But the news is that Vlad's back, so that's exciting, isn't it? And I've absolutely mugged him off, only paying him $43 million a year. That's a massive win for me. All right, so we got him back. We did get him back, $43.2 million a year. It's a 4-year deal, so that'll take him up to the age of 34. And again, I think it's not a terrible deal for us, considering it's less than what he was on previously when he was on 47. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. He was brilliant for us last season. He was huge, wasn't he, in the postseason? Let's be honest. He was single-handedly keeping us alive in many of those series. So, yeah, I think this is okay. Be curious to see what you guys think, but I said I'd pay him $50 million if he got us to the World Cup. He's taken a pay cut. World Series even. He's taken a pay cut for failing to do that, and I think maybe this is a situation where everybody wins. Yeah, we'll see, I guess, when he decides whether to play or not, won't we? So that is a lot of our money gone in those last two signings. We do still have 15 million left. Is there anything else we want to do? I mean, I'm always up for strengthening some starting pitching, but otherwise, I think, well, we'll just have to see what happens, won't we? We have more breaking news out of Chicago as Cubs GM Aussie has shipped 2 players out, with Edouard Julien going to San Diego and Brennan Davis to Atlanta. Now, he had this to say just moments ago. Look, I mean, the team can't throw away a 3-0 lead and expect me to be happy with them. I'm going to lose patience. I'm going to make some rash decisions. But don't worry too much. I am working on something here. All right, well, is there a chance I'm overreacting to losing the series against the Braves? Yes, there is. There's a very big chance, in fact. But we have traded 2 players. So Edouard Julien has left $9.5 million for a designated hitter who batted .258 last year. Vlad's back, so we didn't really need him. The plan was to have him to play first base for us. So we didn't really need that anymore. So I just thought, well, I mean, what's he actually doing here then? You know, so we got him out. We went to San Diego to play. We got in place of him. Is just trying to build pitching depth a little bit. So Sandy Gaston comes in. He's okay. He's a vocal leader. He might make our bullpen to start the season. We'll have to see how spring training goes for him. But yeah, he's on minimum wage, so it's just that's just kind of how it is. Had an ERA of 3.08 last year from 43 appearances, almost 50 innings pitched. So he's he's not hopeless. But, yeah, I mean, he's pretty good, actually. So we'll probably see him at some point this coming season. The other player we got rid of course, was Brennan Davis. Now, a couple of reasons why I did this. $10.5 million. I mean, we've cleared up $20 million with these 2 trades as well. He has been getting a little bit better. I mean, he's fairly consistent. You know, he's got, 25 and 24 and 33 home runs, or 20 home runs as well the last 3 seasons. Batting average, though, is a little down. His OPS plus is okay, but we have Patterson coming in. He looked quite good. He's a better player defensively, and offensively, he certainly didn't look any worse, that's for sure. So, yeah, we let Brennan Davis go off to the Braves. The player we got in place of him is a 25-year-old poor man's Ohtani, I would say. Describe him as Bryce Eldridge. He did win the World Series last year, so he brings that experience to us as well, but a fairly solid pitcher, a ground ball pitcher as well, which kind of feeds into what we like to do. But he's also not a bad first baseman, can play in the outfield, and he's not a bad bat either. So he can sort of cover not only a place probably in the bullpen. I don't think he's going to be a starting pitcher for us, but he can also then, as a designated hitter or a pinch hitter, do a decent job. I mean, he can come in and play first base probably better than Vlad can. Vlad can go to DH. So it gives us a few options as well. So it takes away some of the loss of losing Julien, because he can come in, he can be the backup first baseman, he can be a pitcher for us as well. And yeah, with power of 60, he can get his fair share of home runs and RBI and stuff like that as well, I think. So that's what we've done. Another minimum wage as well. So yeah, let's see where we go from here. Alright, it is Rule 5 draft time. Now, there's no one really. We don't need a catcher. That is the highest sort of current ability person. There's the potential guy here. He's out for another 5 weeks. I am tempted. He could replace Ramirez at second base, but I just don't know if I want to commit to him. Hey, you know what? Let's take him, because he'll just go back, won't he? So we'll try and get this guy in, Jack Ruckett. And perhaps unsurprisingly, it looks like he has been taken before we got to our pick. So in that case, there's not much for us to do here. So we will not be doing anything in this Rule 5 draft. And we haven't lost anybody either. So this year, the Rule 5 draft was just a bit of a non-event for us. Breaking news! Again! Seriously, out of Chicago! Are we still giving this guy attention? Wow, what's he done now? Lost the series from 4-0 up. What? Seriously? Oh, wow. Welcome to Chicago, Elly De La Frickin' Cruz. We have got the current MVP, the 4-time MVP of the league, and we've got him on $31.2 million for this year. It goes up after that, but don't worry about the money. Leave that to me. you just enjoy the fact that this team is suddenly looking very, very, very unaffordable in a couple of seasons' time, but very, very good as well. So it's only 27. Now, the contract is sizable. It does get bigger, up to 39 next season. Then we're up to sort of Vlad money. There is a player opt-out here, and if that happens, to be honest, somebody else will have come along at that point, and we'll probably be happy to let him go. We might even try and trade, but to be honest, and this is just a little bit maybe, I don't say cheating, but working the system. We're not going to be around. We'll have moved on to Out of the Park Baseball 25 by this time, so it doesn't matter that he's got an opt-out because, yeah, we're going to have him for 5 years, and that is all locked in contract. So very, very pleased with this. Now, his career to date, we know all he ever does is seems to beat us, so it helps us on that front. But, I mean, look at this. He has led the league in runs, in hits the last 2 years, home runs as well for 2 seasons there, RBIs 3 years in a row, slug percentage, WAR the last 2 years. I mean, this is a Hall of Fame player, and he's going to be playing in the same team as McQuaid, as Vlad, as I can't forget who else we've got now, but very, very good team anyway. And if the pitching can even half hold up to what it's been doing, surely this is going to be the year that we just romp to this World Series. Alright, it is now spring training, which brings us to the end of possibly the biggest off-season special we've ever had. So let's have a look at the team as I see it right now before spring training starts. So Petey Crow back in centre field leading us off. He is obviously our best centre fielder. Just had a bit of a slump at the wrong time last season. De La Cruz batting second at third. Then we've got Vlad third at first. We've got McQuaid in right and left field, cleaning up. Then we've got Nimmala. Bobby Patterson would come in and replace in right field, Brennan Davis. Bregman would drop back to DH. He's still a good bat for us, but we know he's a liability defensively, which is where Ellie De La Cruz comes in. Then we've got Ballesteros catching and Ramirez at second. A starting rotation of Alcantara, Perez, Scott, Murals, and Murillo, or something along those lines. We might move Murillo back into the bullpen, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. And if you hadn't caught on by now, the reason that we got rid of Julian and Brennan Davis was to make room to get in De La Cruz. So I think given that Patterson could come straight into right field, given that Bregman would then move to DH with De La Cruz going to third, I don't know there's much of an argument to say we're a weaker team, you know, that we are a stronger team for doing that. And there's still some youngsters around as well that could impress in spring training and come into consideration for the season as well. So that's what we've done. We are very much swimming at the shallow end of the finances pool right now, but I don't care. I don't care. I think we've got a very, very good team here. I think we should be able to win the division, shouldn't we? Surely, surely, surely. And if we don't win the World Series with this lineup, I don't know when we're going to do it. I genuinely don't. Bregman's contract is up soon, so he's one that could drop out. But everybody else there is in their prime, more or less, and it kind of feels like it's now or never for this coming season. But let me know what you think, and I will see you next time for opening day. And opening day is going to be against Pittsburgh. We'll be hosting the Pirates, and I am very, very much looking forward to that. Take care.